forklift safety. At the close of this segment, you should be able to identify the best practices for handling slabs with a forklift. Hazards. There are a number of hazards that can be avoided. Understand that there is no place for complacency in the stone business. Stay alert. Stay alive. There are two major methods for moving slabs in most stone environments: overhead cranes and forklifts. Depending on the size and scope of the operation, fabricators and distributors will use either one or both. Safety and the use of overhead cranes are covered in another module in this slab handling safety series. Although there are some similarities in both, this module will focus solely on moving slabs with forklifts. Because a forklift can go virtually anywhere in the operation, shop, yard, warehouse, it's considered more versatile. But like overhead cranes, it has its perils. There are strict do's and don'ts when involved in this method, and following them to the letter will help you protect life and limb. Learning objective number 1. Identify the best practices for handling slabs with a forklift. Before you handle the slab, while handling the slab, after handling the slab. First, leaving slabs aside for a moment, there's a definite skill in driving a forklift. Anyone operating this vehicle must be thoroughly trained in forklift operation before ever attempting to get behind the wheel. Your company will have specific requirements to training and operation. Moving a slab or slabs with a forklift is a team operation, which may include as many as 2 other persons in addition to the driver. When you're going to be moving slabs, you must wear the proper clothing and accessories, including hard-toed shoes, gloves, safety glasses, and if your company requires it, a hard hat. Most slab handling accidents occur because of the lack of attention and faulty equipment. Before attempting to move slabs, standard industry practice calls for a daily pre-use inspection of potential problems, including cables, latches, grips, and other equipment. The forklift should be checked to assure that safety equipment is functioning properly. This includes seat belts, backup horns, flashing lights, and safety headlights. Depending on company policy and local fire codes, some are equipped with fire extinguishers. Your company should have a checklist for all slab handling equipment, which must be followed closely. Then, conduct an inspection of the walkways and areas through which you will be moving or transporting the slab. You want to avoid tripping and other hazards and make sure there is proper clearance when doors and ceilings are involved. Always pay close attention to the weight of the slabs. Overweight movements can cause the forklift to tip from swaying. Whether lifting a slab or a bundle of slabs, always consider the center of gravity of the slab or bundle so that weight is distributed evenly. A trial tensioning will verify balance. The bottom line is, never attempt a load based on guesswork. A typical rule of thumb is that a full slab weighs about 1,000 pounds. Check shipping papers or estimate weights using weights of similar loads. Check slabs to be moved for cracks or fissures, which can cause breakage in transit. Many injuries and fatalities have occurred when a slab splits and shatters while being moved. Make sure the boom hoisting mechanism is attached via safety chains, and tilt the mast back towards the forklift to assure the boom attachment does not slide off. Keep fellow employees clear of loads about to be lifted, and make sure suspended loads are clear of obstructions. A minimum of 2 persons should be involved in each slab movement, the forklift operator and a spotter. When moving a single slab, the spotter directs the driver to place the clamp at the center of the slab. Once the spotter is clear and at an arm's distance, the slab can be raised. Make sure the slab is no more than 8 to 10 inches off the ground. As you begin to move the load, be sure that everyone involved on the team knows the uniform hand signals or voice commands. Rule 1 for lifting slabs with a forklift and clamp is very simple. Never lift more than 1 slab at a time, no matter what the size of the clamp is or how small the slabs are. Even though the clamps come in different sizes, they are designed to move only 1 slab at a time. Make sure that the slab being lifted does not exceed the load limit for the clamp specified by the clamp manufacturer. For instance, all Abaco clamps, widely used in the stone industry, regardless of the size and style, have a load capacity of 2,646 pounds. After preparations are completed, reposition the top of the slab to be moved from the bundle of slabs by means of a pinch bar or wedge, allowing enough room for the back plate of the clamp to pass between the slab and the bundle of slabs. Now, attach the slab lifting clamp, making sure it is placed in the center of the slab and the slab is placed fully in the clamp's opening. Push the release button on the clamp so that the jaws lock onto the slab when the lifting cable is raised. Once the spotter is an arm's distance away from the slab, it can be lifted. The slab should be lifted slowly to make sure it is balanced. Wait 2 to 3 seconds before raising the slab, allowing it to settle. When moving the slab, don't lift it more than 8 to 10 inches off the ground. Keep hands and fingers clear of untensioned loads. When traveling with the raised slab, travel very slowly. When moving slabs outside, even the slightest breeze can make them difficult to handle. Stay outside the fall shadow, which, as you can see from this illustration, is the theoretical cone which radiates from the slab being moved. You don't want any part of your body to be inside the shadow area, and that includes your hands and feet. Before lowering the slab, make sure there are no obstructions that the slab or clamp can rest on. If this occurs, the clamp could release the slab. Finally, when the slab is fully lowered and the weight is off the clamp, you can release the clamp. Learning objective number 2. Identify the hazards of handling slabs with a forklift, emphasizing common hazards, distractions. Never lift wet slabs, which can cause the rubber pads in the clamp to lose their grip. Thoroughly dry the area before attaching the clamp. It is also essential that the clamp pads are free from dirt, grease, and oil, which can cause the clamp to lose its grip. Of course, never leave a suspended load unattended. Most of the same safety precautions apply when handling multiple slabs in a sling. Keep hands and fingers clear of untensioned loads. Pad or protect slings from sharp edges of the load. Always inspect the sling for wear and determine whether the rating capacity is appropriate for the pending load. Make sure you know the angle the sling makes with a horizontal line and know the size, weight, and center of gravity of the load. Always think before you handle the load. Never load in excess of rated capacity. Never pull a sling from a suspended load under tension. Never shorten a sling with knots, bolts, or other makeshift devices. Again, walk the route before lifting the load to make sure it's clear. Walk slowly. Keep everyone else out of the way. Whether you are moving a single slab with a clamp or a number of slabs in a sling, if you follow the standard procedures outlined in this video, you avoid hazards like being struck and crushed by dropped material, struck by or caught between a load, damage to a dropped load, struck by tipping or falling slabs, hitting a fellow employee with a load, incorrectly secured loads, incorrectly balanced loads, failure of a cable or sling, tipped or dropped slabs, poor placement of a load, spotter struck by load or caught between slabs. Learning objective number 3. Understand that there is no place for complacency in the stone business. Accidents happen in a split second to even the most experienced slab handlers. In fact, most of those involved in fatal slab handling accidents have years of experience. Any slab handling hazard has the potential for disaster, including serious injury or death. There is no room for complacency, ever. You can always replace a broken slab, but unfortunately, with some accidents, you never get a second chance. You and your associates need to review this video frequently to master the fundamentals of forklift slab handling and refresh your memories. If a problem arises with the equipment or in the warehouse, distribution center, or fabrication shop environment which can challenge the stone handling process, don't be afraid to call your supervisor. Let's recap what we've learned. You should be able to identify the best practices for handling slabs with a forklift. Hazards. There are a number of hazards that can be avoided. Understand that there is no place for complacency in the stone business. Stay alert. Stay alive.